Do you love crunchy snacks, but you think most crunchy options are packed full of carbs? Think again. Today, I am revealing the best low-carb crunchy snacks that I know you're gonna love, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, Erin here with Healthy Mom, Happy Family, and I am so excited for you to join me here today because we are talking about one of my favorite topics, which is snacking. And if you're like me and you love crunchy snacks, you're probably concerned that most of the common crunchy snacks out there, like chips and pretzels and crackers, they tend to be high in carbohydrates and that can spike blood sugar. But the good news is that is not always the case. And that's why I wanted to share with you today my favorite low-carb crunchy snacks that won't spike your blood sugar. Now, before we dive in, I just want to remind you that if you are looking for tips and tricks and simple recipes on managing type 2 diabetes and reversing insulin resistance, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you never miss a new video. Okay, so let's jump in and I'm going to share with you now my favorite low-carb crunchy snacks that you will love and they won't spike your blood sugar. So let's talk about nuts because I'm pretty nuts about them. Because if you think about nuts as a crunchy snack, they are a terrific choice because they contain plant-based protein, healthy fats, and fiber, which basically gives you this trio of nutrients that helps you to feel full longer. But they also have very few carbohydrates. Now, the biggest concern I hear about nuts is the portions, right? They are higher in calories, and a lot of times people feel like they can't stop eating nuts. So if this is an issue for you, what I like to recommend is you choose nuts in their shell. For instance, something like pistachios, I love because you have to open the shells, so that slows you down when eating. And also those leftover shells give you a visual reminder of how much you've eaten. So nuts are a great choice. They really satisfy that crunch. They're low in carb and packed full of good nutrition, but just watch the portions. Okay, so cheese crisps are delicious and they're pretty much what they sound like. They're baked cheese that crisps into kind of like a cracker consistency. And they're incredibly satisfying because they're packed full of protein. They also contain some fat and they can really help satisfy that crunchy and salty craving. Now, what's great about these is you can buy them pre-made in stores, or if you want to make them at home, it's pretty easy to do. You just melt some cheese on a baking sheet, and once it's melted and dried, you crunch it up into crackers. Now, the only thing I want you to remember is that although cheese is a good source of protein and it has beneficial nutrients like calcium, it also can contain saturated fat. And too much saturated fat in the diet can raise our cholesterol levels and over time can increase insulin resistance. So these are a great choice. They're low in carb, they're definitely crunchy, but just keep that in mind that you want to enjoy them in moderation so it doesn't add too much saturated fat to your diet. Okay, so I had to throw popcorn on the list because popcorn is pretty much my favorite snack of all time. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Well, popcorn does contain carbohydrates, but it really doesn't have that many. When you think about a serving of popcorn, you get 3 entire cups of popcorn. And those 3 cups only contain 15 grams of carbohydrate, plus they have a good source of fiber. So what that means is those few carbohydrates are going to be broken down and digested more slowly because of the fiber, and so they have less impact on your actual blood sugar. Not to mention, when you think about the portion, 3 whole cups, it's an incredibly filling portion size, so it really makes a great snack option. Now, what I love about popcorn too is it's so versatile as a crunchy snack. And you can enjoy it plain, air popped, which is delicious. You can put a little butter on it, but you can also think about outside of the box ideas. You know, I love to put cinnamon on the popcorn, or you can put cocoa powder. You can put a little olive oil and some salt. There's so many options. I even have some clients that'll take powdered cheese and put it on top. So it's really limitless on how you want to flavor your popcorn, and it makes a delicious lower carb snack. Okay, so let's talk about dry roasted chickpeas. I love these guys because chickpeas are another great way to add more fiber and plant-based protein to your diet. And when they're dry roasted, it really gives a delicious crunch. Now, these are great because you can buy them pre-made or you can actually do them yourself. All you have to do is take chickpeas, season them however you'd like, put them on a baking sheet and bake them in the oven until they're dried out and crispy. It's really that easy. Now, when you think about what a serving size is for dried chickpeas, about a half of a cup provides almost 28 grams of carbohydrate. And I know that sounds on the higher end, but you're also getting 6 grams of fiber, plus you're getting 6 grams of protein and 5 grams of plant-based fat. So altogether, those nutrients are really helping to slow down how quickly the carbohydrates are digested and how quickly the sugars from those carbs are entering your bloodstream. So the carbohydrate content of dried chickpeas, it might not work if you're on a very low carbohydrate meal plan or following a keto diet, but if you're focused mainly on balancing your blood sugar, these are absolutely a great crunchy snack choice for you. Another snack I absolutely love are pumpkin seeds. And these are just so fun to eat, and they're really a great way to get a crunch in. You can get them unsalted in their plain form, or you can get them lightly salted. So it really depends if you want a crunchy snack or you also have a salt craving as well. Now, when you think about pumpkin seeds, a quarter of a cup gives you just 4 grams of net carbs. And it also contains 8 grams of protein and almost 16 grams of healthy plant-based fat. So it's an incredibly filling snack option as well. Almond crackers are another lower carb crunchy snack that I absolutely love, because when you think about crackers, they are crunchy, but traditional crackers typically are rich in refined carbohydrates, so if you eat a large amount of them, they can really send your blood sugar soaring. But now you can find crackers made from almond flour in stores, and I'll link to some of my favorite brands below in the description so you can check them out. But what I love about this is it usually has less carbohydrate, more fiber, and more protein, so they're more filling as a cracker goes, but they're also more slowly digested and they have less of an impact on overall blood sugar. Now, if you're looking for a lower calorie and lower carb cracker option, you can also think about seaweed crackers. They're really a great fit, and you can find them most grocery stores now. You can also find a large variety in health food stores, but you pretty much can find them everywhere. And they do have a really light, crunchy texture. They also have a salty flavor because it's seaweed, so a lot of people find them very enjoyable. Now, you can find seaweed dried in its own form, or some of these seaweed crackers are a blend of sesame and almond flour as well, which gives even more of a cracker-like consistency. And that combination gives an additional source of protein to make them a little bit more filling too. All right, so when you think about cereal, what do you think about? You're probably thinking, oh, cereal has too many carbs. I can't enjoy it as a low carb snack. But there are actually a lot of lower carb options now for cereal on the market, and you can find them online, you can find them in grocery stores and health food stores, and they come in so many varieties and flavors, everything from plain cereals all the way up to alternatives to your favorite sugar-sweetened cereals. So there are a ton of varieties, and I'm gonna link to some of my favorites in the description below because there's just too many brands to share. But what's really great about these is they tend to be higher in fiber and higher in protein as well, and fewer carbohydrates. So not only do they have less impact on blood sugar, but they tend to be a lot more filling. And you can enjoy them alone, or one of my favorite ways to use the lower carb cereals is to make a trail mix. So you can throw some nuts in there, you can put some popcorn in there, and put the low carb cereal, mix it all together, and it's a really great crunchy, salty, sweet combination that you can take with you on the go. Now, edamame is also a really great way to add more crunch to your diet. I tend to love steamed edamame, and you can enjoy it plain or you could put a little bit of salt on it, but it's a great way to add more plant-based protein and fiber to your diet. And when you think about eating the edamame straight from the pods, it's also a really fun way to snack, and it makes for a great finger food for the whole family. So definitely one to try. Okay, if you love pickles, you're definitely in luck, because these salty little treats, not only are they great and crunchy, but they tend to provide 0 calories and 0 carbs. But just make sure to read the labels, because there are pickles that are sugar sweetened, so you want to make sure to limit those, because that would add a significant amount of added sugars and carbohydrate, which would impact blood sugar. Okay, to round out this list of crunchy low-carb snacks, I can't forget to share about raw veggies. Now, there are just so many varieties to choose from, and pretty much you can find something everyone likes. Carrots, peppers, celery, cucumbers. You really can never get bored when it comes to raw vegetables, and you can enjoy them plain, but you can also pair them with lower carb dip options like nut butters, hummus, even a little ranch. It really depends on your choice. I have some clients that love cream cheese with raw vegetables or a soft cheese as a dip. So you can use your imagination and really flavor them in so many ways, but raw veggies are always a great way to add more nutrition to your diet, and they're also low in carbs. So there you have it. That is my list of the best crunchy low carb snacks, and I want to hear from you. Which ones are your favorite? And are there any that I forgot to add to the list? Make sure to let me know by commenting below. And if you liked today's video, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss new tips, tricks, and recipes. Thanks so much for joining me.